Going, folks? Mr. Average Fan here, and today I'm here to discuss Conor McGregor. I honestly was a giant Conor fan when he first broke onto the scene. Not really his first fight against Brimage, but when he came into his second fight, they gave him the blackout treatment. I think it was in Boston. Um, he really shined for me. Like he was, I don't know what it was about the guy. I guess everybody else seen it too. It wasn't just that he had the talk and the look. He really had the skill and his whole style of coming in and out and catching you with that left. It was just so great. And he looked like he had decent wrestling takedown defense at first. His first few fights, his gas tank looked okay. We didn't really get to see that tested. Like I really liked him, and when he beat Seaver, he looked absolutely amazing. He made Poirier look like a joke. Made Brandao look like a joke. He broke onto the scene really strong. I was huge McGregor fan. And then he did get his title shot against Mendez, and Mendez had that fight on really short notice. I found, and he only had 3 weeks or 10 days or something to prepare. He doesn't have the best cardio in the world, anyways, to be honest. And he clearly gassed. He was doing okay, and then he clearly gassed, and he took a big shot, and that was it. Fight over. There's no way he was getting to the fourth round, third round, no matter what happened, anyways. But after that, I don't know. He knocked out Aldo. He looked amazing. Yes, he did. He was really douchey during the press conferences. I was an Aldo fan before this. I found it super disrespectful the way he grabbed the belt and the shit he talked about Brazil. I love the trash talking and stuff and bringing your A game, but that kind of trash talking, no. And like what he did with Khabib, but I'll get into that in a bit. But anyways, yes, he was great. He looked great as featherweight champ. Then he went up and lost to Nate Diaz. He clearly didn't take Diaz seriously. He was really humble about that loss. I respected him a lot. So he decided to rematch Diaz in a very controversial fight, which I do believe he won. I believe he won 3 rounds myself. Diaz did nothing for the first 8 minutes, and Conor pulled out the fifth round, if you ask me. But Diaz kind of changed him when he beat Diaz. He really did think he was a world beater and could beat anybody. And don't get me wrong, beating Eddie Alvarez like he did was amazing, but I don't know what he was thinking challenging Floyd Mayweather. Yes, he did okay against Mayweather. He did all right. He landed a lot of fights, a lot of shots. Mayweather isn't known to be the best early in the rounds anyways. He does let guys get off. He carries some fighters to make it more entertaining, which he clearly did do in that fight, even though he did eat more shots than he wanted to, and he definitely didn't want to get an uppercut. But he did kind of carry Conor in that fight, and he did okay. He was humble in that loss too and stuff. But then he came back to UFC and acted like he was going to be the world beater coming off a big loss like that to Mayweather. Like, boxing or not, that's a big loss. And coming back and acting like going to be a world beater against somebody who's completely different, a wrestler like you haven't fought in a long time. And I don't know what he was thinking taking the Khabib fight myself. I know it's a lot of money and it's a lot of hype and he believes himself, but you aren't going to beat Khabib. He should have had a couple fights in between. But Khabib shouldn't have been the champion to begin with. Ferguson won it before him and somehow got stripped. No matter what happened, Ferguson and Khabib should have fought. And I think Conor should have came in and maybe fought Kevin Lee, which wouldn't be a good matchup either, but he'd have a lot better chance than Khabib. And if he can beat Kevin Lee, he'd have a damn good chance against Khabib because Kevin Lee pretty much is a poor man's version of Khabib in my opinion. And he's a bit bigger. I think Kevin Lee's a really big lightweight, and he kills himself cutting weight. You can clearly tell it. You can tell it in his last fight. He was gone. He was hoping for a win because of what he did earlier in the fight, even though, what's his name, Quinta completely smashed him in the last 2 rounds, made him look like a fool. You can't win like that. Not in my opinion. Not if you want to be a champion. But anyways, that's what Conor should have did. But instead, he came in and he fought Khabib. And Joe Rogan says he got smashed, he got mauled. He kind of just let Khabib lay on him for the first round and took a nice beating in the second. Second, he did get smashed him out. The third, he tried to implement his game, but he was too gassed as it was. He had nothing behind those shots. Khabib basically just coasted. And the fourth, he gave up like he has done before when his back is taken. And that's what kills me about Conor. He talks about all this smack, all this shit. I'll never give up. I'll go forever. I'll be number one. No one can beat me. This, that, and the other thing. Well, dude, the 4 fights you had last, you completely quit. Like, you completely quit. When Diaz took you down and took your back, there was nothing to it. Like, you didn't even give it. Like, I'm not a fighter. I can't tell people what to do, but clearly, the heart wasn't there like you see in some guys. Like, you see guys like Quinta, when he was down, he was almost getting choked out. He is busting it out no matter what. You literally got to kill that guy to take him out. And Conor acts like he is that guy. And when he was coming up, he was that guy, in my opinion. Despite his earlier losses, when he was coming up in the UFC, like, he was that guy. Diaz was just too much, too big, and he way outclassed him. But honestly, I don't know what Conor was thinking in the Khabib fight. I don't know what he was doing taking that fight. He seriously should have came back and had a tune-up fight, if you want to call it, or two, or a contender fight. He should have fought Poirier. He should have maybe beat the hell out of Alvarez again. Who knows? Before Alvarez jumped on and went to one. And maybe he could have fought somebody else, like maybe Chiesa when Chiesa was in the division, or Pettis. He could have got it going that way. But instead, he jumped right in against Khabib, and he got made to look like a fool. And now, his way is he wants to get a rematch because of the money, this, that. I don't think he should have a rematch at all. I think he should either kill himself and go back to featherweight and be the dominant champ he was. Holloway should move up, get that rematch. He should beat Holloway, because I know he can beat Holloway. I know there's a lot of Holloway fans, but come on. Holloway fans tend to get really upset when you bring up the McGregor thing, but he did absolutely dominate Holloway. He made Holloway look like a fool. Poirier, I think Poirier was more of in his head type thing, and Poirier didn't implement the game plan he should have. McGregor probably would beat Poirier anyways because of the power difference, but Poirier could do better than that. Look how sick he's been since that loss. But anyways, on Conor, like, clearly the money is getting to his head. He's being way too douchey. Like, it's hard for that. It must be hard for that guy to keep fans now, because I was a huge McGregor fan, and honestly, I'm not really a McGregor fan anymore. I'm not a Khabib fan by no means, but I just got no time for the douchiness and the inactiveness and the taking stupid fights that you're not going to win. It just makes no sense. Like, why not stay at featherweight and dominate? Why not take a better matchup at in lightweight in UFC? Why not stay active enough so that you didn't get stripped? Like, I don't get it. Taking Mayweather fight on 3 months' notice when a boxing camp should be 5 months against the biggest fighter in the world for money. Like, and then you want to claim you want to be a legend and have legacy and all this stuff. I don't know. Fighters these days just blow my mind. And as far as McGregor, I used to say I'll always be his fan. I'm kind of on the fence with the guy. I don't hate the guy by no means. I'm always going to watch a McGregor fight. I won't pay to watch it anymore. Hell no, I had paid to watch McGregor fights before, and I will never do that again. But, like, I would like to see the guy fight again. If he could get hungry again, come back, if he won a title, he could have did some legendary stuff, man. But the stuff he's talking about is stupid. Fighting GSP, like, taking ridiculous fights. Like, take a Poirier fight, dude. He's talking about this tension guy, calling out tension. Why do you want to fight a 130-pound bag of shit that just got beat by a guy that already beat you? Like, there's nothing to gain out of it. Anyways, that's my McGregor rant. Hate it or love it. McGregor fans can hate me, they can love me, whatever. I hope Conor does turn it around, get back on top, get hungry again, do what he got to do, and don't just fall off and act a fool and do stupid shit. Because I can see that guy in the WWE before sooner or later. It's brutal, man. That's my thoughts on McGregor. If you like this rant, if you like this post, whatever you want to call it, like and subscribe. We got plenty more to come. There's a John Jones one before. It's pretty great if you ask me. Like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.